graph theory 1 part 1, I will mainly discuss the uh, what is graph and uh, what is the definition of graph. Okay, someone has present. Okay. Uh, in this graph theory is a comparatively new subject. Comparatively new subject. It has been started in 1736 only. Okay, and some I think you have heard the name of Euler. Euler have started it. So during the classes, I will tell you the something about the history. But graph theory mainly deals with first slide. What is a graph? That first question is that. What is a graph? Now, from the set theoretic point of view, we shall start graph theory because that is the most elegant mathematical approach. Now see, let V be a set. It is denoted as this set V1, V2, V3. Number of elements is finite. It is not infinite elements. Okay, so graph theory, in graph theory, there is no infinite set. Remember this fact. Be a non-empty set of vertices. Each V1, V2, V3 are called vertices. Vertices means or nodes. And E will be another set. E1, E2, E3 is set of edges. This may be empty, may not be empty. Now this edges means what I want to show you like this. Can you see the board? All of you can see the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See here. Suppose this is the vertex. Okay. You join by lines. Lines may not be straight lines. Okay. May not be straight lines. So this is say V1, then V2, V3, V4, and these lines are there. It may be joined here. Okay. Here also it may be joined by this another line. Okay. So the set V is here. V1, V2, V3, V4. Okay, and set E is there. V1 is here, and V1 and V2 is connected. So suppose this name of this set, this edge is E1. Okay, this edge is E1, and this edge is E2. Then this edge is E3. Say this edge is E4. This edge is E5. This edge is E6. Okay, so in this set, how many sets are there? E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, and E6. Okay, so this is the vertex set and this is the edge set. So in this way, we are getting two different sets, but there is another function that is hidden function. Okay, that means it always, this function, what is the function of this function? Function, or what is the service of this function is that it connects V1 and V2. So psi of this E1, say E1 is nothing but the set V1, V2. Okay, that means there exists an edge between V1 and V2. And again, psi of E2 is also the same set, V1 and V2. This may so happen in the graph theory. Okay, so then this is E3. The psi of E3 is nothing but V1 V4. Okay, understood? In this manner you have to think. Okay, next. You can come to this point. Hello, can you see the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now so these two sets are equal, and here this trio psi I have explained. This say psi be a function which can associate each pair of vertices that belongs to ed above mentioned vertices set. একটা ফোন এসছে ধরো। হ্যাঁ বিদ্যুৎ আমি ক্লাস নিচ্ছি। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে। Hello, above mentioned vertex set V with an edge belonging to the above mentioned set E. Then the trio, these three, is called an undirected graph. Remember this fact, undirected. Why it is called undirected? Because we didn't use any direction symbol in the graph, because we didn't use any direction symbol, and denoted as G is equal to a set V, a set G, sorry, it will be E, set E, and it will be and the function psi. But in most cases we shall not use this psi because psi is silent here. So there exists a correspondence between between any pair of vertices with the edges. So we take it as granted. That's why we suppress that psi without any loss of generality. In general, vertices of any graph will be denoted as Vi, and edges of any graph will be denoted as this one or E1, E2, E3. Any two we shall use. Both these two we shall use. Okay. Next, this is the example. So this is a graph. Here is a 6 vertices. Here is a vertices, number of vertices is more, but each between each two vertices there is a but here you see there is no vertices. Okay, so this one are all related, but these two are not related. These two are related through this. There is a psi function here, here is a psi function here. So this is the concept of the graph in this way. Now this is the graph theory starting. It is called the bridge, Königsberg bridge. Okay, Königsberg bridge, where Euler's maternal uncle is there in the Königsberg, and from 7 kilometers away it is a village. So in its maternal uncle's house, Euler was there for 2 weeks, and during that week he discovered this problem in 1736. And this is the picture he first drawn of the graph. Okay, now see here, in practical applications, this is a very big water body, and this is also a very big water body. This one, okay, oh, sorry, this is a river, but here the river is bifurcated, okay, in this way. And again, this is a here it is bifurcated, and this is a land mass, this is also land mass, this part is also land mass, this part is also land mass. The river goes in this way, and here also it goes the other way. This land mass, this land mass, this land mass are detached, except these bridges. These are bridges. Okay, now Euler used to start from here, going there, crossing this one, come to this landmass, then again come here, then again go there, and come to this mass, and he found that he could not travel starting from here and coming back here without crossing any of the bridge twice. He tried it several times, but he could not. Then he asked the old peoples in the village. Okay, they told that they have also seen it for the last 50 years, but nobody has solved this problem. So Euler began to think, what is the problem? Is it a new problem? And that's why the graph theory generated. He took is the first picture given by Euler in his paper, 1736 paper. I have got also that paper. This is the C, that is landmass. This three part are landmarks, okay, and these four. So these are landmarks, okay. And see here, C is connected to A. C is connected to A by these two bridges. So there are two bridges. And A is connected to B by these two bridges. Okay. And A is connected to D also by these bridges. And D is also connected to C by a single bridges. And D is also connected to B by these single bridges. So its graph theoretic representation is like this. And then all the definitions you read above, these are made by Euler. Okay. So this is the first picture. I have shown it. And a version of this picture, Euler's pictures, has been reproduced here. This is the original picture of the Euler. He just made it. Okay. Next, now we are going to define the how to start beginning. Okay. Order and size of a graph. Order. The number of vertices of a graph is called its order. So in a graph, you see there are how many vertices? 1, 2, 3, 4. So order of this graph is 4. Okay. And size of the graph. Size of the graph is defined as the number of edges of the graph. And you see the order is denoted by mod G or mod of VG or simply by n, small n. And it is denoted, the size is denoted by mod of EG or this one or simply as n. Okay, you see here, then what is the size of this graph? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Size of this graph is 7 and order is 4. So then trivial graph. A graph with only one vertex is called a trivial graph. Only one vertex. So there is no edge. Then isolated vertex. A vertex of a graph is called isolated vertex if it is not incident with any edge. So there are isolated vertex. A graph may contain this vertex. Okay, just think about the circle. Center of the circle is the isolated vertex of the circle. If you choose say several points on the circle and draw this, you will get it isolated vertex. Okay, so isolated vertex is another one. Next is loop. I will show you the first loop. This is the loop. Say here loop, that is a vertex starting from this an edge starting from this vertex again fall on this vertex. Okay, this is called loop. And these are say any parallel edges. This one, these three are parallel, these two are parallel, these two are parallel, these two are parallel. That is vertex vertex originating from this edges originating from this vertex and incident on this vertex, but several like this. Several may be like this. So all these are parallel vertex. Now we define loop. an edge ek of a non-null graph G, this is a graph, and this edge ek is said to be a loop in the vertex where psi of vi, it is same vi. Look at this, vi starting from vi and ending at vi. So it is vi. Okay. So the psi function did this job. This means that loop is an edge drawn from a vertex to itself. Okay. A graph is called a pseudograph. Pseudograph. It looks like a graph, but it is not a graph. If it allows parallel edges and self loops, that is, this is a pseudograph because it allows this one, it allows also self loop. So this is a pseudograph. It's a very complicated type of graph. Your syllabus does not contain this pseudograph, theory of pseudographs. So we shall only define it. Okay. Next, a graph is called a pseudograph, that you understood. Now, adjacent edges. This edge and this edge, this edge or this edge are adjacents. Why? Because they have two non-parallel edges of a graph are called adjacent when they are incident with a common vertex. Now see, this is and this one has a common vertex. This one, okay? This and this, there are connection, but this and this has, what is this? Parallel edges. Understood? Adjacent. This is also adjacent. This non-parallel. They are parallel. So, but these two are not parallel. These two are not parallel. Understood? So, two non-parallel edges of a graph are called adjacent graph when they are incident with a common vertex. They are incident with a common vertex. Okay, this edge falls on here and this edge also falls on here. So they are adjacent. These two are adjacent. These two are adjacent. This one and this one is not adjacent, but this one and this one is adjacent. This one and this one is adjacent. This one and this one is adjacent in this way. Okay, so these are adjacent edges. Now adjacent vertex, let G be the graph, then two vertices Vi and Vj are called adjacent vertices, Vi and Vj. That means index are different. If there exists an edge Ek such that psi of Ek is equal to Vi Vj. So here you see there is the edge, this one and this one. So these two vertex are adjacent. These two vertex are adjacent. These two vertex are adjacent. Okay. So that means adjacent vertex means there is a connection or there is a connection between these two vertices. So this is called adjacent. Now these adjacent vertices are very all these definitions you have to remember, because in the next classes we are not going to detail, but you have to remember it, you have to understood it, because technical language will be there. Adjacent, the vertices are adjacent, then the edges are adjacent, then the edges are parallel, the vertices are null, you will get it. Okay. Now a simple graph. First again I want to come here. We shall use this one. Next one is here. What is called null graph, then isolated vertex, parallel edges, you should know. Then this loop, these are all technical language you have to understand and you remember this one. So next one is, next come simple graph. A graph is called a simple graph. Very important, because your syllabus mostly covers this one. Simply if it contains no loop and parallel edges. That means there must not have any loop or any parallel edges. So this loop will be absent, parallel edge will be absent. Okay, so what does that look like? It will look like this one. It's a simple graph. Okay, there is no parallel edges and no loop. Okay, so remember this fact. Then multigraph. A graph is called multigraph if it contains parallel edges but does not allow self loops. Loops or self loops, same. Loops or self loops. You will get this loop or self loop, same. Okay. So, degree of a, now we are getting into the mathematics gradually. Now, degree of a vertex is the first mathematical part. These are the definitions, different types of graphs. In a graph, the degree of a vertex is defined as the number of edges incident to the vertex, Vi. Suppose this one, this is Vi. Now, how many edges have fallen on it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So D of Vi is 6. Understood? D of Vi is 6. Where loop, if there is any loop, here is loop, so it will be counted 2 times. So here the vertex of this vertex has 1, 2, 3 and 2, 5. So degree of this vertex is 5. Got it? Where loop at Vy is assumed to contribute 2 degrees. So now see, the degree of a vertex may be an even number, may be an odd number. Okay. If the degree of a vertex is even, then it is called even vertex. If the degree of the vertex is odd, then it is called odd vertex. Remember this fact. Okay. And the degree of the vertex is denoted like this. So make it bold. Okay. Now, in a graph, maximum number of degree of is represented mathematically as this symbol. Remember this and this symbol. This is the minimum. This is the maximum and this is minimum. A graph is called locally finite if it has delta G finite. There are 2 types of delta, capital delta and small delta. Capital delta remains finite, so this is called locally finite. Even graph means the degree of each vertex. Now see, this is even graph, not even degree of the vertex. It is even graph. A graph is called even. Now see, you calculate that if all the graphs, all the vertices of the graph is even. Okay, all the vertices of the graph has even degree, then it is called even graph. Degree of each vertex of the graph is even, then it is called even graph. And if it is odd, then it is called odd graph. So odd degree vertex of a graph and even degree vertex of a graph. But if there is a mix, we cannot say anything. Okay. Now this is a very important concept, is regular graph. This is a graph. Then G is called regular if all the vertices of G have the same degree. Either 5, all the vertices, either 5 or 6 or 7. So it may be odd, it may be. So regular odd graph, regular even graph means all the vertices have the same degree. Okay. For a regular graph, we then have delta G is equal to capital delta G is equal to small delta G. Remember this. Okay. That is maximum and minimum number of vertices is same. If this number be P, we call the graph as P regular graph. Okay. A zero regular graph is disconnected graph. Zero regular graph is disconnected graph. Okay. So it is a null graph. So it is a null graph. Let us check the null definition. What is a null graph? A graph is said to be null graph is E is phi. E means edge set is phi. So E set, check it, E set is phi. That means there is no edge. Almost all the vertices are isolated vertices. That is, there is no connection between these two, between the any two or any three of this, any two of these vertices. So a zero regular graph is a disconnected graph. It is also a null graph. And next one is a graph. There is again a mistake. A graph is called almost p-regular. Almost p-regular. Almost is very important point. Almost is also very important to remember. Okay. If there exists at most one vertex, that means not all, at most one, at most. Remember this, at most. That means only one graph at most, one vertex, such that degree of V, regular means all degrees are same, all degrees of the vertices are same, at least one of them is less than P. P regular means all vertices have degree P, but here at most one have less than degree less than P, and the degree of each of the remaining vertices P. Then this is called almost p-regular graph. Okay, this is also another important graph to be remembered, but you don't have to. The theory is very difficult and it is not included in your syllabus. Now, pendant vertex. Pendant vertex is a vertex whose degree is 1. Whose degree is 1. That means either starting or the last. Either starting or the last. In between all the vertices had at least two degree. That means at least degree value is 2, but in the beginning or the last one. So that's why it's called the pendant vertex. It is sometimes called the end vertex also. An edge incident on a pendant vertex is known as the pendant edge. Okay, a vertex in a simple graph is called a universal vertex. A vertex in a simple graph is called universal vertex. Remember this name, universal vertex. So let me make it universal vertex. Okay, universal vertex. If degree of V, that means that vertex is n minus 1, n minus 1. Okay, n minus 1. N is the degree of the vertex. Okay, when a vertex vi have dvi an odd number, we call it odd vertex, and a even degree if the vertex is of even degree, or dvi is even. Okay, so these are the definitions and preparations. Okay, I shall do it, the theorems, but on the basis of this there are several theorems, many theorems. Okay, you have to read these theorems. That will be next. So I think today I don't want to proceed further. Okay, today I don't want to proceed further. Okay, now you just in the chat box you your put your roll number and name in the chat box, one after another you send. Okay, carry on. Hello.
Yes, sir.
You send your Navin Das, Gautam Burman, Vishwajit, Prarthana Sarkar. Send all of you, those who are present. Ripon Rai, Dinabandhu Rai, Sushmita Datto, Arbaj Ali, Sneha Vishwas, Apurva Singh. Send you otherwise you will not get attendance. Okay, those who have given, you can leave now. I am sending just now. Just wait a bit. I will send the this. Just wait a bit. Okay, then I'm stopping.
Okay, sir.